Tools and techniques of quality control. According to project management body of knowledge, project quality includes the processes and activities that determine quality policies, objectives, and responsibilities so that the project will satisfy the needs for which it was undertaken. Means project quality includes the process and activities that determine quality policies. Quality policy ಅಥವಾ objectives of the I mean of the project. Okay, objectives and responsibility so that the project will satisfy the needs ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ should have its own quality. Quality it is not only the objective that to complete the project, it must have the to maintain the or control the quality of the project also. Processes of say quality control. So first, plan quality management. That means identify the quality standards that must be met. ಏನು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗುವುದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿರಬೇಕು, ವಾಟ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ದ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್. ಯಾವ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾದಿಂದಾಗಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ವೇ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಅದು ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Perform quality assurance, analyzing quality measurements and determining the success or failure rate of the quality of the project. Quality control quality, taking quality measurements and making necessary changes to the project quality plan. Project performs. Acceptance, the beneficiaries, the donor, or other key project stakeholders accept or reject the product or service delivered. It means the beneficiaries, the donor, or the key project stakeholders accept or reject the product or ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಡೆಲಿವರ್ಡ್. ಅವರು ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಎವರ್ ಡೆಲಿವರ್ಡ್ ಟು ದೆಮ್. Rework, if it is a case, rework the is the action taken to bring the rejected product or service into compliance with the requirements, quality specification or stakeholder expectation. ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ acceptance stage ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ if it is rejected, that we have to rework as per the accordance of the stakeholders. Then adjustments, correct or take the necessary steps to prevent further quality problems or defects based on quality control measurements. Let us see what are the tools of quality control. We have a cause and effect diagram. Cause and effect diagram, also known as fishbone diagrams or Ishikawa diagrams, named after Koro Ishikawa, a Japanese quality control statistician who developed the concept in the 1960s and considered one of the 7 basic tools of quality management. It is named fishbone diagram because of their fish like appearance. It is an analysis tool that provides a systematic way of looking at effects and the causes that create a contributor to those effects. Let us see the fishbone diagram. This is a fishbone diagram. So here there will be a causes. Look at the fishbone diagram. So cause ಅನ್ನ ಈ ತರ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಸ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಬ್ ಕಾಸಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಜರ್ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕಾಸ್ ಟಿ. ಈ ತರ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹೌ ಟು ಸಿ ಚೆಕ್ ದ causes which if which causes to the quality and okay. What are the advantages of it? Highly visual brainstorming tool which can spark further examples of root causes. ಮತ್ತು ರೂಟ್ ಕಾಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತದೆ ಈ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್. Quickly identify if the root cause is found multiple times in the same or different causal tree. ತುಂಬಾ ಸಲ ಆ ರೂಟ್ ಕಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Allow one to see all causes simultaneously. We can see simultaneously all causes. See, you can see. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Good visualization and for presenting issues to stakeholders. Let us see what is the disadvantage. Complex defects. ಇದು ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Might yield a lot of causes which might become visually cluttering. Interrelationships between causes are not easily identifiable. Next is check sheets. Is a form or a document used to collect data in real time at the location where the data is generated. The data it captures can be quantitative or qualitative. When the information is quantitative, the check sheet is sometimes called a tally sheet. Quantitative ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. The check sheet is one of the so-called seven basic tools of quality control. The defining characteristics of a check sheet is that data are recorded by making marks. These checks on it. Tick mark ಮಾಡೋದು. A typical check sheet is divided into regions and marks made in different regions have different significances. Data are you read by observing the location and number of marks on the sheet. Check sheets typically employ a heading that answers like five W's: who filled out the check sheet, what was collected, what where the collection took place, when the collection took place, why the data were collected. Functions of check sheets. Koro Ishikawa identified five uses of check sheets in quality control: to check the shape of the probability distribution of a process, to quantify defects type, to quantify defects by location, to quantify defects by cause, to keep track of the completion of steps in a multi-step procedure. In other words, as a checklist. Let us see control chart. Control chart, also known as a Sheward chart after Walter and Sheward, or process behavior chart, are a statistical process control tool used to determine if a manufacturing or business process is in a state of control. It is more appropriate to say that the control charts are the graphical device for statistical process monitoring. Let's see, this is a control chart. There is a upper limit and the lower limit. Between that, what happens in the checking? If anything is lower than this or upper than this, they must have the control on it. Histogram. A histogram is a graphical representation of the distribution of data. It is an estimate of the probability distribution of a continuous variable, that is a quantitative variable, and was first introduced by Carl Pearson. The construct a histogram, the first step is to bin the range of values, that is divide the entire range of values into a series of small intervals, and then count of how many values fall into each interval. This is a histogram. Okay. Then Pareto charts. Pareto charts based on Pareto's rule, which states that 80% of the problems are often due to 20% of the causes. The assumptions is that Most of the results, if any in any situation, are determined by a small number of causes, and helps identify the vital few contributors that account for most quality problems. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 80% ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾರಣವೇ 20% ಕಾಸ್ಗಳು ಕಾರಣಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಪೆರಿಟೋ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೆರಿಟೋ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ. Scatter plot. Scatter plot, also known as a scatter plot, scatter graph, scatter chart, and etc., is a type of plot or mathematical diagram using uh, Cartesian coordinates to display values for typically two variables for a set of data. If the points are coded in color or shape or size, one additional variable can be displayed. The data are displayed as a collection of points, each having the value of one variable determining the position on the horizontal axis, and the value of the other variable determining the position of on the vertical axis. So this is a, see, scatter plot. Look at the scatter plot here. Okay. Yeah. Stratified sampling. In statistics, stratified sampling is a method of a sampling from a population which can be partitioned into subpopulations. ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ one entire population ಅನ್ನ sub population ಆಗಿ stratify ಮಾಡೋದು. In statistical surveys, when subpopulations within an overall population vary, it could be advantageous to sample each subpopulation, that is stratum, independently. Stratification is the process of dividing members of the population into homogeneous subgroups before sampling. The strata should define a, partition of the population. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಗ BBA ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ BBA ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಟು ಸಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ BBA ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹೋಮೋಜಿನಿಯಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್, ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹಾಕುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ಎಂಟೈರ್ BBA ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್, ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಹೋಮೋಜಿನಿಯಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಈ ತರ ಹೋಮೋಜಿನಿಯಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as a strata. See, this is a stratified sampling. This is the entire population, ಅದನ್ನ subgroup ಮಾಡಿ we are taking a sample. Techniques of quality control. There are many techniques for the management of quality in the industries. Look at the total quality techniques, that is total quality, Six Sigma, top down and bottom up approach, ISO, Kaizen, and cost of quality. Let us see what is this. Total quality management is an old technique of quality management. In this very technique, focus, or every technique focus, is given on each and every step of manufacturing to ensure that the quality remained maintained from the inception. Quality ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಎನ್ಶೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ Six Sigma is a very old method of quality management and used widely in industries like mechanical and electrical works. This is a technique in which the focus is one of the quality improvement of the key product by removing or eliminating the defects which are a hurdle in the quality. Defects ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿಗೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, top down and bottom up approach. Top down and bottom down approaches are very effective types of approaches. In this, the orders are passed from top officials to lower level, and also information is passed from the lower level to ಹೈಯರ್ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ವಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಲೋವರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಟು ಟಾಪ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ISO, International Organization for Standardization, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತು ಇದು. A body which gives the certification of quality to the products and also to various type of companies. It is based in no, Geneva, Switzerland. Every establishment in the world, whether it is a company, an industry, or other firms, should have to take the certification of quality assurance from the ISO. Cost of quality. The cost of quality is the difference between the cost of the production, including manufacturing, sales, and other expenses, and cost incurred without any defect during the production. ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ and the without defect expenses. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಗ 1,000 ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಸೇರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ದ 1,000 is minus 0 is a 1,000, that is a cost of quality. If there is a defect in the now say 100 rupees defect item is identified in the overall production ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ there is 1,000 rupees minus 100 is a 900 is your cost of capital, sorry, cost of quality. Kaizen. Kaizen is an old Japanese technique to maintain the quality of the product. This particular technique primarily focuses on each and individual level of process and include all types of workers. Quality is the utmost important thing which is handled with care by every company because whole the reputation of the company is based on the quality of the product of that company. The techniques that we discussed above are some of the total techniques, and the companies should focus on the adoption of the right technique because the quality management techniques may vary from work to work. So the holistic and wise approach should be there while selecting the technique for the quality enhancement in the particular industry. Also, the staff should be trained effectively so that they are able to implement it according to the requirements of the production and company and other aspects as well as the purse. These are the references.